Hi, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Love Island Micropod. It has been a little bit between drinks on this one, and that's because the beautiful Sarah decided to go and take a very well-deserved holiday down in beautiful Cornwall for a week or so. And so we didn't want to interrupt that time, but we are back. We're going to have a slightly different format today, though. Not only have I got a sexy croaky voice.
It's so hot.
So sexy, and red hair. But we are going to do like a mad recap of the last probably 10 or so episodes. But instead of going episode by episode, we're actually just going to do a couple roundup. And it's pretty apt that we're going to do the couple roundup because, as you're probably all aware, the final is literally happening as we speak. So we'll be reviewing the final very quickly later on this week. So you'll have kind of 2 episodes back to back. But hi, Sarah, how are you?
Hi, I've fallen off the Love Island cliff.
You have.
I'm behind. I need to know what's been going on.
I'm here for you. Although I have a memory of a goldfish. I'm here for you.
I feel like this should be in reverse because my voice is fine and you're going to probably have to do most of the talking.
I don't know what I've caught, but fun times. Right, so we're going to be picking it up essentially from just after the Ayo and Mimi episode with the balcony and Joey. And for those of us who have been watching it, I'm going to use the code word secret mission. And Sarah will get to know what we're talking about as we go through each
No
couple.
idea. Yeah.
It's a special Joey special, let me tell you. A very Joey special. It's actually the most infuriating thing in the world. So we might start with Josh and Mimi, and there'll be a bit of Ayo and Jess in there,
Okay,
Jessica
cool.
as well. So the episode that you kind of left them at, Mimi, I think she was still trying to work out, is it Josh, is it not Josh?
Mm-hmm.
And he's obviously also quite unsure of where her head's at. Anyway, there's a kind of conversation that happens between the girls and Mimi, and Mimi decides, you know what, I actually just want to have this conversation with Ayo, but I want to have it in private.
Mm-hmm.
And I want us to just clear the air and just say the words, you know, that this isn't a thing, it's not going to be a thing, blah, blah, blah. It was a little bit ambiguous. I think it was edited to make her seem ambiguous, but she decided in her infinite wisdom to get Joey Essex to help her.
That feels set up immediately as you say this. Joey Essex to help.
Joey Essex and help are not great bedfellows. So she basically says, I'm going to go up to the terrace, have a bit of privacy. Can you please get Ayo?
Okay, so Joey Essex is asked. She wants to get Joey Essex to help her have this
she says
secret
to Joey,
conversation.
I'm going to go up to the terrace. Can you just ask Ayo to come meet me so we can have this conversation? And so Joey kind of does what Joey does best, makes it quite dramatic, and like is all like as if he's on this like a secret mission, basically. But what's really odd is she goes up to the terrace, and when she opens the door, she kneels down so no one can actually see her on the terrace.
Uh-huh.
And then you know how people go up there to kiss and stuff, but they go and sit on the floor. She sits on the floor, and it's a bit weird. Anyway, Ayo point blank refuses. He says, no, if she wants to have a conversation, she needs to do it in front of Jess. Like, I'm not doing that. Like, we've gone through enough already. She's gone through enough already. Like, that's just a recipe for disaster. So he basically says, no, tell her to come down and I'll talk to her down here. I'm not going up to the terrace. Joey goes up, and of course she's like crouched down, she's on the floor, and Joey's like, and it's all a bit awkward. I would definitely just rewatch that bit because it's. And
is she expecting Ayo to come in?
Yeah, but Joey's like, he's not coming. He wants you to go down and you can talk to him. So yeah. Anyway, so that, my friend, was what Joey then terms the secret mission. Yeah. Anyway, Mimi and Josh have a couple of pretty not confrontational, but what's the word I'm looking for? Like quite deep conversations.
Okay,
just
yeah.
like, is it, is Mimi really committed to Josh, and like, can she really see it? The one thing that's really interesting with that sort of come to light, and I wasn't aware of it, is Mimi's actually quite religious.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I think Josh was in his past quite religious, or he certainly comes from a religious family. And so there's a few conversations that they have where they're kind of reconnecting, or connecting, I should say, in that way. Like, they talk
Oh,
about
right.
Bible verses and things like that. So I actually think they're a bit more suited to one another than you maybe just from the kind of superficial shit. So yeah, that happens. They kind of move on. A couple of episodes later, they go on a date. It's all really lovely. Josh
Sorry,
treats.
quick question. Do Ayo and Mimi have the chat? Does she go downstairs to talk to him?
Yeah, they do, and
Oh,
it's very vanilla. It's
okay, right.
like nothing's gonna happen. No,
Okay.
we don't
He's
have
definitely into Jess at this. Yeah.
completely,
Okay.
and she's like, I totally respect that, and like, I think I've got something here with Josh. It's very vanilla, very like,
Okay. All right.
we're clear where we stand. Let's not let everybody get into our heads anymore.
Okay, cool.
The one ruffle that happens is they have to play that game where they have to marry, kiss,
Oh, I missed that one.
pie.
Oh, I love that.
And that's odd because Ayo kisses Mimi
No.
because he wants to marry Jess. And so you can kind of see in Ayo's like head how he's trying to work that through. But
Yeah.
you can also see that Josh is like,
Yeah.
no, this is not cool. And Josh does say something to Ayo. He basically says, like, everybody else picked a friend couple,
Yeah.
kissed the friend couple girl, and
Hmm.
then, you know what I mean? Like, so they did it
Yeah.
in a more respectful way. But net, Josh and Mimi. Oh, okay. So Josh and Mimi get closer and closer together. And then, of course, as always, Sean and Joey decide, like, in their infinite wisdom, that they should ruffle and poke. And both of them start saying stuff like, I don't think Mimi's over Ayo. I think Mimi's more suited to Ayo.
Yeah.
I think Mimi thinks that as well, blah, blah, blah. And so there's this whole thing. And then during a challenge in the garden, Joey basically says, well, I was asked to do this secret challenge, and I do feel like Mimi still likes Ayo. And then he point blank refuses to talk about it. So he's like, I was told to do a secret mission, and then he just doesn't talk about it. He's like, no, I'm not going to tell you. It's a secret mission. So he tells like everyone that Mimi asked him to do this secret mission. And then he's like, well, I can't tell you about it because it's a secret mission. And that's his stance on it. I can't tell you about the secret mission I've already told you I did because it's a secret mission. Guys,
Secret
it's in the
mission.
title. It's like,
It's in the title. I like that. It's in the title, guys. It's a secret mission.
honest to God, it was like,
Oh, Joey.
But look, Io and Mimi, they kind of have some really deep conversations about it all. Mimi and Josh, have some deep conversations about it all. They're like just a really mature couple. Like, they're super mature. They're not like, they're just a really good couple. Honestly, like, I do genuinely think they're gonna make it long term.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so are Mimi and Io friends at this point? So everyone's kind of moved on now. It's not a
And actually, Mimi's quite good friends.
So sorry, I said Mimi and Io both
Yeah,
in their respective relationships and both friends still. And are people
yeah,
dropping? Do people drop
yeah.
it? They're sort of like, okay, cool.
Not really.
Oh,
Joey and Sean just keep going.
one I get childlike vibes from.
Yeah, and what I think is quite interesting is Josh finds his voice and starts really voicing what he
Cool.
genuinely thinks of Joey and Sean.
Uh-huh.
And he says a comment something to the effect of like, Sean's so far up Joey's ass he can talk for him. Like, he follows him around like a lapdog, yeah, etc., etc. So it's quite good because you see Josh kind of come into himself and he's like, you know what, I'm just not having this. And then this whole secret mission thing is like, I did a secret mission, but I can't tell you about it because it's a secret mission. But you just told everybody, Joey, like you're an idiot. I
Doesn't
actually
sound like the
lost,
most mission-like mission anyway.
yeah, I lost a lot of respect for Joey in that whole process, and I have a feeling that the public would have also been a bit like, I think we're done with you now. Like you're really
So
genuine.
I've been avoiding, obviously I've been in Cornwall for a week plus. I've been avoiding Love Island news. But one thing that I did, shamelessly scrolling through on the Daily Mail, a headline that came up was about public turning on Joey Essex. And I didn't know why, because I was like, don't look at that, because you never
Yeah,
know.
we'll get to, I think, why when I'm
Okay,
going to come back and wrap up the Grafties when I've done all of the couples, because the Grafties, yeah, and they were explosive, like
and
explosive to the point that I thought producers might have to step in to like
oh,
stop a fight.
grew the couples to the Grafties.
All right,
And
we'll
everyone
do.
ended up happily ever after. And the Grafties.
Yeah, no.
No, I'm kidding. Go.
So we'll rapid fire through. So look, Mimi and Josh, strong,
Cool.
cute, super lovely, very respectful couple.
Mm-hmm.
I actually think they're going to make it. I'm convinced of it now. I think they're a lovely, lovely couple. So yes, I am all for. I would love actually to see them win, but mostly because I'm a big Mimi fan from the get go.
We've
I
all,
think
yeah, we've both been super Mimi
she
fans.
holds herself. She's got self respect. Like yeah, love Mimi, and I really like Josh. He's really lovely to her. He treats her so well.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's a mature guy. So unlike Tweedledee and Tweedledum, who will come onto. I might just wrap up Kieran and Nicole real quick.
Oh,
They're still just disgustingly
It's still just Kieran and Nicole.
weirdly attached to one another, and like there's like creepiness in there. They have grown on me, I have to say. Like I do kind of think they're gonna make it. I actually think Kieran's probably gonna propose. I reckon he might even do it in the house. Like they're kind of like that obsessed with one another.
Oh, I thought you were going to say inseparable, but
No, they are inseparable as well. There's not really much drama around them, to be honest with you. Like the only thing I think was a bit. There's been a few episodes where they've had to like, they did challenges, and it was like who's the most vain in the house and who's the most arrogant, and Nicole got picked. So that made me think, yeah, both. And she got quite upset about both of them. I
no one
think
would be happy.
Josh picked her for the arrogant thing, and he was trying to explain to her, like, the way I took it was, you're not arrogant about yourself, but you're arrogant about your relationship because you're so strong. Like, people come in and you just like, nah, don't even want to talk to you.
Yeah. Okay.
So he was trying to explain that. I don't know if our friend Nicole really understood that, but she's fine. So yeah, that's them really. They're just exactly the same.
Well,
He asked her in a recoupling to be his official girlfriend, and she obviously said yes, cried her eyes out. So they're officially girlfriend and boyfriend.
I think about, sorry, just as a quick side note, I think about that in the context of when we were younger, and when someone would say, "Would you?" Because I think it was a different sort of build up. And if someone said to me like, you want to go out, you want to be my girlfriend, like there was no tears because there hadn't been all these stages that we've already been through. Like,
yeah,
so I find it a bit uncomfortable watching the younger generations declare.
It
girlfriend
was
and
quite
boyfriend ship.
cute. He did a really good job, bless him, and he said some lovely words, and he did it in a recoupling, so it was like really public and all of that stuff. So it was nice. I liked it. They have grown on me a bit like a leech. After a while, you're just like, well, it's here now. I'll just enjoy it for what it
Not
is.
going away.
Excuse me.
Oh, I'm really curious to know about Matilda and Sean.
Let's get on to Matilda and Sean. I can't work that couple out. More so from her point of view. I can't
I like
see.
her.
Yeah, I just can't see what she sees in Sean.
Okay.
So, yeah, nothing really major with those two. They have their first kind of date. Excuse me. They go, they get a car and they go on a drive. It's quite a cute date. They do seem to like vibe off each other really naturally. Like nothing seemed forced. You know, some of the dates you watch where you're like Ayo and Mimi, where you're like,
That's the exact one I was just thinking of. Yeah.
like incestuous dating. It's so weird. But yeah, they seem really happy. I think they're getting on really well. The one thing I think is I think Sean's kind of his argumentative side and his stubborn side, you see it come out at the Graffties, and you can see that she's a little bit like, you need to stop, like this is insane. But other than that, it's all very, very nothing really. In between all of this, there are two poor old bombshells, but there are two bombshells that come in.
Bit too late to the game.
Pardon?
Bit too late to the game.
Yeah, and also I just don't think they were the right bombshells. I think the producers made a mistake. So Sean and Matilda, very little to say. Sean's just a massive shit stirrer and is like quite deeply annoying at this juncture. I actually think the only reason they've got to where they've got to in the competition is because of Matilda, because she's genuinely
way
like
better than him. Yeah.
So there's not really much to say on Sean and Matilda. They're just kind of plodding along. I just can't work out why she's with him. I don't know. I don't see that lasting, if I'm very honest.
Candyman. No, I agree with you. I wouldn't have thought that.
Oh my god, his Love Island talent show with all Candyman stuff, and I was like, oh, Sarah's gonna be literally like cringing.
I'm gonna have to watch this now. I'm like, no, I'm gonna screw it. Gonna have to watch it.
I would watch the Grafties, and I would watch the talent show. I think that's kind of it. Okay, cool. So that's Sean and Matilda, Mimi and Josh. Ayo and Jess are a roller coaster, mostly from Jess's side. So she goes through a period of about 3 or 4 episodes where she is really confused.
Okay.
Not because she's confused about her feelings, but she's just really insecure. She's literally like, I think you still have feelings for her and you still think like this, that, and the other thing. And because Joey and Sean are like constantly with it, the poor just doesn't know, like, she's just really confused. And it does get quite tedious, if I'm honest. Like, constantly she's like, and you can see Ayo also getting quite annoyed by it, because he's like, I've told you, I don't know how else you want me to do.
There's nothing else I can do at this point.
Yeah. And to the point that like even Ayo like tries to avoid Mimi and stop, like, just so that he doesn't have to deal with like the Jess fallout. Just very, very like needy, which I hadn't seen from her up to that point. She seemed like quite a that's just not what I'd seen from her to that point. So that was quite surprising. So I think they've definitely been challenged a fair bit. But mostly just through that insecurity, which is fine. I mean, I guess it's going to play on your head, right? Like, it is what it is. They kind of have come out the other end of that pretty well, until the families come in, and Ayo's brother and sister come in, and his brother basically says, on the outside looking in, I still think that you are better suited to Mimi.
Mimi, okay.
Ayo then, for all the right reasons, then tells Jess that that's what was said, and he's like, I just want you to hear it from me. Also, I don't agree with it, and this is not what I think. But she has like a major meltdown about that because she's like,
Because he's probably thinking this is going to be aired on TV, so I'm going to tell you.
Yeah, he did the right thing. I genuinely think he did the right thing. I just think that she's quite far down this like insecure hole at the moment, and like she can't see that he did that because he's like, look, you need to know this was said, but I don't agree with it. I'm with you. I like you. And he does allude to loving her. So there's a really cute moment where he's like, sometimes I look at you and I want to say those words. So he's like trying to tell her.
That's too soon. That's too soon. Straight away though, that's too soon. But yeah.
No, but like I think he's trying to say like we're going in the right direction.
We're going in the right direction, yeah.
I'm growing feelings for you. Like you need to know that. But she's so it's been tough for them. But overall, they're pretty solid now. So I think going into the final, they're decent and solid. Her talent show was quite funny. You have to watch it. She tries to tell them that she's an artist. It's actually quite funny. And then Joey makes a comment that actually had me proper giggling.
Okay, I'll watch that one then.
Because she turns the art around and he's like, that's talent. That's talent. It's not at all. It's like, it's so bad. Yeah, that was quite funny. The talent show did actually make me laugh. And also maybe bumped her on. So who have we got left? Sean and Matilda we've done. Kira Nicole we've done. Ayo, Jessica.
Joey and Jessie.
So Joey and Jessie, last but by no means least. They actually go through a bit of a roller coaster, more so because I think Jessie wakes up to the fact that Joey is quite immature, and the whole secret mission thing, she gets really annoyed at him about it because she's like, why did you even bring it up if you're not going to talk about it? So she gets quite irate. They are quite solid now where we're ending and moving into the final, but that probably brings us to the Graffties because that was probably like the biggest eye-opener, I think, for Jessie. So there's probably 3 episodes in Love Island that we all live for. One is
movie night.
Well, one is Casa, generally.
Yeah.
Then it's movie night. And then it's the Graffties, and followed very closely behind the talent shows and the heart rate.
Yeah, love them.
But the Graffties this year were explosive. You have to go back and watch that episode.
Okay, definitely.
I would actually go back and watch it again. So
just get your episode up for after we finish this.
So basically, Joey and Jessie get really tested in this because they basically showed Joey being like the biggest flirt. So I mentioned before that 2 bombshells came in.
Okay, yeah. It's like I was like clicking. I was like, trying, and then I stopped to listen to you, and it's the Love Island Grafties. There we go. Good with my late night TV tonight.
Excellent. So, okay. So the first thing that happens at the Grafties is Harry and Lola, who are the new bombshells that come in. There's a whole thing with Grace. We can forget about Grace and Ruben are gone, and it was it was like the world's most fake relationship. Although I think I saw a picture where they're like legitimately together. But anyway, Harry, who's like a bit of a slime ball, he did himself no favors in that house whatsoever. Lola was nice but quiet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Anyway, Harry makes a massive play for Grace. Grace really isn't keen, but he keeps going, like to the point where you're like, get the hint, dude. Anyway, they end up right before the Grafties. There's a recoupling, and Ruben picks Grace. Because before that, Lola picked Harry picked Grace, which meant that Ruben was single. So Lola picked Ruben strategically, so just in case anyone was going to get dumped.
Okay.
Like, which really endeared me to her. But the first thing that happens is there's a least the public have been voting, and the couple that are least likely to make it, or whatever, however they phrase it now, is Harry and Lola, and they go up to get the award, and then they get a text, and it's like, you've been dumped. So literally straight out of the gate, the Grafties were like,
brutal.
okay,
Love it. Yeah.
it's on like Donkey Kong now, boys. Like, so they literally have to
Say
leave.
goodbye. Off you go.
Yeah. Literally, like they're holding their champagne glasses, and they're like, do we put them down? Like, what do we do?
Take the award.
So that's the first award, and they go. So the first award was it's giving one-sided. So this is like the relationship that is giving one-sided. So the nominees were Josh.
Oh, can I guess who wins?
Yes, Josh, Jess, and Ruben. So Josh is with Mimi, obviously. Jess, Ayo. Ruben is with Grace. So guess the winner.
Ruben and Grace?
Jess.
Oh.
And she took it really, to be honest, she took it really well. She got up. She's like, I know what I've got. Like, not bothered.
Yeah.
So that was really good. The one thing about that, though, was Joey and Sean started in on Josh and Mimi again. So again, they started in on the whole,
okay.
I think it's one-sided. That's what I can see.
Yeah.
And Josh got really heated. He just started being like, you guys need to stop. Like, you need to, let this go. Like, why are you even bothered? And they were both just like, well, this is what I see. This is what I see. Like, I'm just saying what I see type thing. Just, just bitchy and, so unnecessary. The next one was the most dramatic performance. And the nominees are Kieran, Jessie, or Nicole.
Nicole.
By a landslide. By an absolute landslide. She did take it quite well as well, to be fair.
Good.
She was pretty humbled by it. The ultimate pot stirrer.
Ooh.
The nominees are Mr. Joey Essex, Sean the Candyman, and Ruben.
Joey came to my head straight away, and then you said Sean, but I think
So it was actually very neck and neck, between Joey and Sean, but Joey did take it out. But this is where Joey, point blank, refuses. He's like, I'm not a pot stirrer. And he gets
did he refuse his award?
He didn't refuse the award, but he just kept saying, I'm not a pot stirrer. I just tell the truth. I'm just honest. I just say it how I see it.
Pot stirrer.
And it's like, oh my God. And then people start laying into him, and they're like, no, Joey. And this is where the fight erupts, because Sean then tries to back Joey. And interestingly, so does Jessie. Jessie's like, you're not listening to him. You're not listening to what he's saying. And everyone's like, we are listening to what he's saying. But it just gets explosive, because even Josh is like, what do you mean you're not? You did this, you talked about the secret mission, then you didn't refuse to talk about it, then you did this, that, and the other thing. And it's like, what are you talking about? Anyway, Mimi basically is like, oh no, so that's when he first mentioned secret mission. And
right, okay,
talking about secret mission, and he's like, the secret mission. And Mimi's like, do you mean when I asked you to bring Ayo upstairs? She's like, it was nothing. Why are you making it into this big deal? Yeah, it kind of explodes. So that's definitely one to watch, because you do also see quite an interesting side in the girls. You see Jessie trying to defend Joey, but realizing quickly she's really got, how do you defend that?
Yeah.
And then Sean is just pathetic. He just looks like Joey's lapdog. He's literally like, love me.
He is though, isn't he? He's like, I can't wait to come out in, Brentwood with you.
Honestly, it's actually quite it's quite sad. And then you kind of so Jessie's kind of saying to Joey, Jessie's trying to defend Joey, but then Matilda's like, shut up, Sean, just shut up. You need to stop. So it's really quite explosive, and you definitely also see just how divided the house is that you might not see on the day to day. So like,
It has been a very divided house. Like we've said that from the start, haven't we? That it's not the most cohesive. Like,
but you see it in a few of the challenges in the last few
yeah,
episodes. Where, like you've got the like Mimi, Josh, Nicole, Kieran, kind of side,
yeah,
and then you've got the Joey and Sean show, and then Matilda kind of sits in the middle.
mm-hmm.
But it's quite, yeah, it's quite. The next one is flirtiest performance, and
Ooh.
our nominees are Joey, Grace, and Sean.
Oh, they're all flirty. Grace?
Joey got it,
Joey again, okay.
and that's
And I
where
don't mean that as disrespect to Grace because I really liked her, but she's flirtatious.
she is.
Yeah.
But Joey wins it, and the clips they show are quite confronting, I think, to Jessie.
I see, okay, yeah.
Because I think that like they do show some clips, more recent clips, where they're supposed to be like closed off, or they're supposed to be like quite serious.
Yeah,
Joey
and
says things,
he's still.
yeah, and Joey actually says things like, "Well, we haven't had that conversation."
Well, we have.
Well, like, do you have to at that point? Like, I guess that's the question. So, yeah, Jessie definitely is upset, and rightly so, with what she sees. And then a very contentious one, unfinished business.
Ooh, is that going to be a
So
Mimi Ayo one?
it gets super heated. So Mimi,
Ooh, I think there's a couple, yeah. Mimi Ayo, yeah.
Grace and Josh.
Grace. Oh, I was going to say Grace and Joey.
Grace and Josh.
Uh-huh.
And then Grace and Joey.
Okay. Who wins? Well, I think probably given the airtime, probably Mimi and Ayo, but yeah.
So Mimi and Ayo win, but it all erupts around. They're like the Josh thing. So Josh is basically like, I don't even know why they've put me back with Grace. And Joey
Mhm.
starts going like, well, you clearly had feelings for the girl. Like, you clearly fancy the girl. And he's like, what do you
Yeah.
mean? What do you mean I clearly fancy her? Like, oh, this is insane. Like, what are you talking about? He's like, well, you pulled her for chats, da da da. He's like, I got to know her and had some conversations with
Yeah.
her. That was a long while back. Like, what are you talking about? And it erupts. You have to watch it. That is honestly the point. I
With
think Joey
Joey.
lost the British public, completely lost the British public, because he was like quite vicious in the attacks as well.
They described it in the headline of the Daily Mail as Joey Essex scores an own goal.
It was I think if there had been like a public vote after that, I think he would have gone.
Would have gone, yeah. Is he still in it now?
Mm.
Does he make it to the final? That's all right. We're allowed to get close to the final in this. We've gone. So long, Joey.
And then epic fail.
Uh-huh.
So Kieran, Sean, and Mimi. So I forget what Kieran's one was for.
I feel like Sean's was for.
Sean's was when he got palmed by Matilda at the beginning.
Did Sean win?
And then Mimi was the that whole balcony thing that I was just talking to you about.
Oh, okay.
She wins.
If she wins, I did love the Matilda one because he went in and she was just like, whoa. Like,
yes, it's the
but we don't have to tell anyone, don't worry.
Yeah.
Just too soon. Oh, so she wins. Okay.
So ends the Graffties. But man, it was explosive, and it is well worth a watch.
I'm ready to go.
That's the final showdown. So we've got Mimi, Ayo. No, we haven't. We've got Mimi and Josh.
Oh, you're still manifesting.
I know. I don't know why, because I don't actually think that they're a good couple. Mimi and Josh.
Mimi and Josh, yeah.
Ayo and Jess.
Mm-hmm.
Kieran and Nicole, who I think are going to win it. Let's be honest.
Probably, yeah.
Matilda and Sean.
And Matilda. And they're the ones in the final.
Yes, I don't know how Joey and Grace exit, because I believe that's the episode I have to watch tonight.
For it.
All right. Well, thanks so much for joining me on the wrap up. I'm going to get on with my day, and I'm going to let you basically go and watch Love Island because you haven't talked about it enough. We'll be back for the wrap up of the finale. Cool. Well, I'll leave you and love you. Thanks so much for joining me, and we'll see you guys soon. Don't forget to follow us on the socials. We're part2_book club on Instagram. We do also cover book reviews, midlife, all in between. So come and join us for a veritable roller coaster of topics. All right. Love you lots.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.